everyone. Thank you for joining me for the latest in our E15 Expressway web chat with retailers. I am joined today by Derk Wehner. He's Vice President of Fuels for Thorntons. Derk, nice to see you.
Emily, great to see you as well.
Thanks for joining me. Why don't we start? Tell our viewers a little bit about Thorntons, your retail footprint, and the customers that you serve.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So thanks again for having us on today. Thorntons is very proud to share our story around this. In terms of our history, next year will be a huge milestone for us. So next year will be 50 years since Mr. James Thornton opened his very first store in Clarksville, Indiana. We're a retailer that was family owned, that started with one store and over many years has now grown to over 200 stores. We've expanded now into 6 states. So in addition to our start there in Southern Indiana, just across the river from Louisville, our home city, we're in Indiana, Kentucky. We're now in Illinois, Ohio, Tennessee, and Florida. So very proud of the growth that has happened for many years for the company. In early 2019, the family decided to exit the business and sold to a joint venture that was formed between BP and ArcLight Energy Partners. And they took over the company in February of 2019. But the attractiveness was just the fantastic company that the family had built over all those many, many years. In terms of our guests, right, we do call our customers guests, very importantly, because we're looking to treat them and create an experience for them that's beyond just a normal kind of interaction. We want them to be somebody that is likes their experience and wants to come back, just like a guest you would have in their home. They are very value oriented, but for them, value isn't just price. While price is important and the brand has been known for that for many, many years, it's very much about the experience they have as well. So we take pride in them having a fast, clean, and as I mentioned, very friendly experience that we think adds the extra touch that makes them come back over and over again.
You all this fall were a recipient of USDA's HBIP grant, infrastructure grant for E15. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
How will this grant, what does this mean for your business moving forward?
Yeah, so it's fantastic, obviously. So I think, Emily, as you're well aware, Thorntons was a participant in the first grant program a few years ago, which was hugely beneficial for us. Through that program, we were able to expand our ethanol offers primarily into the Chicago market into, at the time, 43 stores, and eventually with some additional grants, we expanded up to 61 stores, which is where we're operating now. This second wave of funding is another chance to build upon that success story. As you're very familiar with, the work around the 1 pound waiver as it relates to E15 is very important. So it now enables us to expand into many more markets than we were in before. So we're proud to look at what we're going to be able to do with that. We have looked at 5 states that we'd like to apply the funding in. We'll be able to move into 34 stores that don't offer it today, with 580 new fueling points for our guests. So that's just over 50% increase to where we are today. So again, we're very thankful for the USDA and the grants that they provide. Very thankful for Growth Energy and Prime the Pump as well for everything that you've done over the years to help us get to that point. And very thankful for the various corn growers associations in the states that we operate. They've been close partners as well that have helped us be successful.
That's terrific. That's outstanding. How has adding a fuel with a 15% ethanol blend to your choices that you're offering for your customers, your guests, how has that enhanced their experience? What has that done for sales? And what's the feedback that you're getting from your guests?
Yeah, so part of that value proposition to the guest is to give them choices of what they can buy. And E15, along with our E85 offers that we have, just is another one of those value choices. E15 in particular allows us to generally price lower than the 87 regular grade, but not sacrificing any kind of quality. In fact, offer a lower price fuel that has better octane, has the same mileage type of performance as an 87 regular grade, and obviously has a higher content of a renewable energy source. So whether it's one of those attributes or some combination of them, we think it's a great product that just offers value all around for the types of guests that we have. And it's been very successful for us. As mentioned, we were able to expand primarily in the Chicago market, but through those activities over the last 3 years, we've sold over 100 million gallons of higher blended ethanol fuel. So it is an important part of our offer. It's an important part of our volume and profitability, and it's a great part of how we can differentiate versus many of our competitors with our guests.
As you've talked about, we've been partners for a long time, certainly as well through Prime the Pump. How has Growth Energy helped Thorntons expand and expedite your ability to offer higher blends to your guests?
Yeah, so I honestly think it's fair to say we wouldn't be here today if it hadn't been for Growth Energy and Prime the Pump. Obviously, those initial grants help us get in the door, and we wouldn't have been able to wind our way through that entire process. I think this time around, what we found was on a relative basis, it was a bit more straightforward and less tedious of a process. An awful lot of that was work we know Growth Energy did with the Department of Agriculture about how they could streamline the process and make it more accessible to more people. That was definitely beneficial to us as well. That said, let's just say that when you work through the government program and grant applications and processes, there still may be a certain amount of complexity that certainly is beyond our expertise. And so Growth Energy was not only able to help us draft our proposal, which was successful, but also help us navigate the way through some of those complexities. And at the end of the day, that really allowed our team to be very focused on where are we going to get the biggest bang for the buck, if you will, in terms of spending that money to maximize the number of locations, while you guys could bring to the table, here's how you work your way through the system and are able to get successfully through a proposal into a grant award one step at a time. So we wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the great help from you and your team, Emily.
Well, we are happy to help. And as you know, happy to help anytime. So thank you for your partnership. And we look forward to growing your footprint with you. Thanks again, Derk. Great to see you.
Great. Fantastic. Great to see you. Thank you for the time today, Emily.